welcome to the latest in Digital Spy's video reviews of the biggest movie releases out at the moment. This time we're looking at Aladdin. I'm Ian, and my Genie wish would be for Arsenal to win the league again.
My name's Lawrence, and I thought about this long and hard, and I'd really like a big sandwich. One of those ones that like,
one?
well, you know the one that Homer has when he brings it in, it kind of rots and you can't finish it all, like a big giant sandwich, something sandwich based. Good. A big sandwich.
You've been eating that thing for a week. I think the mayonnaise is starting to turn.
Aladdin is, of course, the latest in the long line of Disney live-action remakes of their animated classics. But if you don't know the story, it's essentially about a street rat called Aladdin who is tricked by a nefarious Jafar into finding a magic lamp that contains a genie that wishes him 3 wishes. But at the same time, he just wants to win the heart of Princess Jasmine. He's like any guy, he just wants love.
Who doesn't want love? I mean, who doesn't want love at the end of the day? I guess it's pretty similar to what happened in the cartoon original. There's not massive departures.
No, the bones are very much the same, aren't they? But they do, I think they expand it a little bit, like it's 40 minutes longer. But do you feel that works? I don't know.
I was a little bit checking my watch and getting a bit tired towards the end. And there was some points where you thought it could have ended now, and it was quite extended. But I guess I don't know, I don't feel like I'm the target audience for this, for this Aladdin movie. So I feel like kids might struggle to get through that sort of that length. And it didn't really, I don't know, I would have liked to have seen more from the genie being silly and showing powers and stuff during that time, where it was a lot more just kind of general to and fro of the plot. Yeah,
I think I felt it most during the finale, because it's pretty much along the similar lines, but they go a bit blockbuster, and it's just very CG heavy, and it just gets a bit dull. I think the rest of the film has a charm, but then this is kind of oh, right, can we just get it over with? You know where it's going, can we just get there?
Yeah, well, I think especially at the start, I wasn't that into it towards the start, when it's oh, it's Aladdin running around the cities and he's a street rat, and the city to me looked a little bit like a theme park. I was like, is that a block of wood? Is that a plastic block of wood? It looked at night time, thought it looked great.
Yeah.
Bits in the desert looked great. It wasn't kind of until you get to the Cave of Wonders, then Genie rocks up, and I was like, okay, now I'm in now. This is what I was expecting. But that's a kind of a good, what would you say, 30, 40 minutes in?
Yeah, that's like in the first one. It takes a while.
But yeah, once you get to there, that's when it sort of things really kick off, and it does pick up momentum off that.
Who's the girl?
She's a princess.
Oh, aren't they all?
No, we had a connection. But she has to marry a prince.
Back up, boy. I need some room to work.
I liked Princess Jasmine. I liked Princess Jasmine a lot more than I thought I was going to. She's super independent. She's got banging outfits. She can sing really well. I didn't have very high expectations for her acting. She was in Power Rangers, right?
Naomi Scott, Naomi Scott, who plays her, has been in Power Rangers. Yeah. She's in the upcoming Charlie's Angels as well. Right. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic performance, and she gets one of the biggest new things because it's a whole new song. What did you think of Speechless?
It didn't leave me speechless. It felt tacked on. I can understand why they did it. They've developed her character and they're trying to make her more independent and stuff. And I think it's great to have a new song. In the plot, when that sort of happens, it feels a little bit for the sake of it. Maybe they could have put it with
on the nose. I found it's very much well, pretty obvious. But I think her performance is still really good of the song. She gives it all. She gives it her all. And the lyrics they're not as good as Whole New Worlds. But they're still quite good. And Alan Menken worked on it with the people who worked on Great Showman. So I think it's one of the better new elements of the film.
Yeah.
And I liked Mena Massoud as Aladdin. I feel he's better as the kind of charming rogue street rat than he is with the more emotional stuff. I feel that doesn't quite work as well as Naomi Scott does. But I still liked him, but I know you disagree.
I didn't dig him. I feel it might just be me, because the person I watched it with was oh, he wasn't too bad. I just found it a bit smarmy.
Okay.
I guess so one thing I didn't like about Jasmine was early on in the film, she's oh, she's out in the village and there's poor children, here, have some bread. And then she gets in trouble, and it's you need to pay for that bread. And it's are you so privileged that you don't realise you need currency for bread?
This happens in the original animation as well. She takes Abby, and Aladdin comes to her rescue. So,
yeah, but then she's meant to be so informed and woke, and I don't want to but I don't understand the concept of currency. But apart from that, I liked her. I think with Aladdin, he seemed like a bit of a douche, I guess, at times. He was a handsome guy, could sing and stuff, but his performance was a bit flat, and I didn't kind of by him generally, and I felt because she was so good, it almost highlighted his sort of lackness. And I didn't at times when he's suddenly he goes a bit mad with the wish power and stuff at some stage. It just felt I don't know. He didn't. His performance didn't land for me.
Yeah, he did. I think when it gets to the latter half of the film and he's like, there's more emotion and there's more darkness to it, he doesn't quite work that. But I quite liked him. Like, I was on his side, and I think A Whole New World works really well. Like, it's a huge song to take on, and such an iconic moment in pop culture. Yeah. It's no Katie Price and Peter Andre version.
Well, I was gonna say that's the version I had comparing it to in my head, and I think that I liked. I don't normally love musicals, and I came away liking that. So I think that's probably quite an achievement.
So that he's got one thing right at least for you.
This is true. Yeah. I liked what's Aladdin's big song's name?
Prince Ali, or no, that's the Genie's one, or
the Genie one in the Cave of Wonders, where he's like, a friend like me.
Yeah.
That was a banger, and he drops in like a little bit of rap. Yeah, true. Yeah, but
I
liked
anything that Aladdin wasn't involved.
Generally, because they shrink him down. Yeah. But no, I think that was a strong moment for me. And I'm not a big lover of musicals, but that really won me over, and just visually looked great. Yeah. So I think sometimes when it went like full blown with the magic, because that isn't supposed to look realistic, that sold it for me. Whereas when it's kind of like half, I don't know, those sets during the daytime, I couldn't quite get over them. At night time, it looks great. Bits in the desert look banging.
Yeah, you just wanted magic.
I wanted more magic, yeah. I did feel there could have been more Genie magic. Were you happy with the level of Genie magic?
I think, yeah, and the weird thing about the Genie, obviously there was this whole thing about beforehand that, how do you take on Robin Williams' role? And there was a whole controversy over the first trailer where like it was him as a human and a thing, but I kind of liked him more as a human, in his human form at least, than as a Genie, because I feel the CGI doesn't work too well. I think Friend Like Me is great, and like the CGI in that is pretty good, but I feel like any time he was like a massive blue CGI thing, there's a bit uncanny valley, like the face is just a bit creepy. It's Will Smith, but it's not quite Will Smith, and it's just, there's that unsettling vibe to it. But as a human, I think Will Smith brings his own charisma to it. I think he does his own take on it. Might not be for some people, some purists might think, this isn't Robin Williams, Aladdin, Genie, but I didn't want him to do Robin Williams, I wanted him to do his take on it.
I feel like it was good casting with Will Smith. I feel like of all the people that could have tried to fill that role, he'd be one of them. He's like, so many of us remember him from our childhood, so many classic films. He's kind of almost a contemporary of Robin Williams in a lot of senses. And I think, for me, I didn't feel like he was trying to fill that role, trying to replace him. It was just like, here's another Genie. I think you mentioned before about how the eyes were a bit uncanny valley. Yeah, that was a bit creepy. So it is kind of better when he's human Genie.
The lamb.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3.
I'm kidding. Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up, you ain't never had a friend like me.
So what did you think of Jafar? Because that's such a huge character in the cartoon. Did he land for you?
He's not. I mean, if there's one character I feel that they didn't get the casting right, I feel it's Jafar. Jafar is so menacing in the original thing, and he's just such a classic villain. It didn't work for me. Marwan Kenzari tries, but I feel like his performance is very monotone, and his idea of menace is just be really wide-eyed and talk really slow, and it just doesn't work. And considering they've expanded his role a bit and like given him different motivations to the animation, it just stands out a bit more. But did you find him villainous at all? Did you worry for Aladdin and Jasmine?
I hated Aladdin, so I was like, get him, Jafar.
It's fine,
he did play it straight. I think he played it too stoic and serious, whereas like Jafar, if there's any film you can be a bit like pantomimey and like smarmy behind people's backs and like over-egg it, it would have been this, but he tried to take it a bit too seriously, I think. So you didn't really root for him, whereas he could have been quite a compelling villain.
Especially because you don't like Aladdin, he could have been your anti-hero.
I know,
just cheering along for him is like,
I know, exactly.
Just marry Jasmine against her will. Fine, go for it.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about as well was like CGI. So I know you weren't a fan of CGI Genie. So there's also CGI Carpet, there's CGI Abu. What do you think of those bits?
I think the carpet works really well. Like, especially it's got its own character, and I think they've done as good of a job as they can with a magic carpet. Abu veers between cute and creepy for me because it's CGI monkey. They've given him like a weird human face, and it just doesn't look right. Same with Iago. Iago, I don't know what they were doing with him.
Who was that again?
Jafar's parrot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
So with him, it's like no longer does Jafar and Iago talk to each other a lot like they do in the animation. But he's not a normal parrot either. He doesn't just repeat stuff. He's given his own dialogue. It's just like, what's happened there? I didn't get it. Kind of that coupled with the fact Jafar's not very good. didn't really. That's the weakest part of the film for me.
See, I like the CGI on Naboo. I didn't think I would, but yeah, I did. I thought it was quite a cool monkey. I think it had some good plot in there. But the parrot, I can get what you're saying. There's also a weird bit where like Jafar gets caught and then escapes, and it's not really explained like how he does or like how that. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Magic. So yeah, and also something that plays out later in the end with Jafar, which fans from the original will probably know. Again, probably didn't land visually as well as I think most people would hope. But I thought like the tiger looks good. Tiger looks good. Monkey looks good. Parrot, meh. But yeah, he could have done more, I think.
But otherwise, like I know it might sound like we're just like hating all of the new elements that Guy Ritchie's brought to this version of Aladdin, but there was one that you really liked.
What was that?
We can cut this off.
No, keep it in. Jasmine, is what you mean?
Handmaiden.
Handmaiden, oh yeah, Handmaiden. Yes, so a new character that's been brought in is the Handmaiden, which when I saw it, got some of the biggest laughs, like potentially bigger than Will Smith. And yeah, she was good. She added a bit of lightness to it, like a bit of like extra plot we probably weren't expecting. I thought that was quite nice. It mixed it up a little bit, and it kind of got us away from like the very earnest main plot between Aladdin and Jasmine. It just put some funny in there, and I think the film could have done with more funny.
Yeah, fair. I think it helps with Jasmine's expanded character as well, like the fact that she doesn't want to just be loved by who she wants to or marry who she wants to. Like she wants to be the leader, and like she's got this female friendship with Dahlia, her handmaid, and I just think that all that works. And also there was that weird controversy before release that they'd brought in a whole new white character. Called Prince Anders, played by Billy Magnussen. But once you see the film, I kind of feel it's like a controversy out of nothing. It's everyone's jumped to conclusions about what he was going to be, and he's barely in it. He's great in what he does, I feel, but he's not really in it that much at all.
Yeah, I do feel this film is kind of like, it celebrates the heritage of the people in it and stuff. It feels like it's very much in Agrabah and celebrating, I guess, like the Middle Eastern like themes of it and stuff. Whereas he's a white guy that's come up from like, I guess like a Slavic background or something.
Neighbouring kingdoms.
But he's like a comedy character that's ridiculous, meant to be laughed at. He's not a huge part of it. And he's just a funny element of this that's so tiny. But I think generally this is not. It's not whitewashed or anything by his appearance.
No. Save Jasmine.
No, and he doesn't come in to get the biggest laugh either. No, not at all.
I made you look like a prince on the outside, but I didn't change anything on the inside. Prince Ali got you to the door.
Do you trust me?
What did you say?
But Aladdin has to open it.
Do you trust me?
Your life begins now.
And also, before release, there was some weird about why Guy Ritchie was directing a live-action Aladdin remake. But what did you feel? Do you feel like his like Cockney gangster stylings come through at all, or do you feel like it could have been directed by anyone?
I was expecting like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Aladdins or something. But
Vinnie Jones to pop up in a role somewhere.
That'd have been great. No, I didn't. Having watched his earlier films and like fairly liking Guy Ritchie, didn't really feel those elements came through in there. So I didn't know whether it was like Disney watering that down, or he didn't have as much creative freedom, or he's just moving away from all those sort of tropes he used to have. I mean, you probably know better than me.
I think the slight caper vibes there a little bit in the start when Aladdin's doing his whole pretending to be Prince Ali and all that kind of stuff. But I think he's very much said that this was a film for his children and that he wanted to make for them. So it makes sense that some of his edges are being a bit cut down, and I feel like it's him on blockbuster mode. It's him on big, fun, family entertainment, because that's what I kind of think this film is. Like, our generation, we might think, oh, you can't touch the animation and it's sacred and all that kind of stuff. But it's not. This remake is not really for us. It's bringing Aladdin, I feel.
You mean it's not for 30-odd-year-old men?
We want big sandwiches from a Genie wish. No, it's not, unfortunately. It's bringing Aladdin to an audience almost 3 decades after the first film came out. So there's still stuff to entertain. I think it's still a very enjoyable time, but I sort of feel we're not the target audience a little bit.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I just feel there's probably, and whether this is just an overarching problem for Disney, like, they've maybe not given like other directors as much freedom for like the Star Wars films and stuff as would have hoped. I wonder whether if he'd be able to gone Two Smoking Barrels full on, like with everything he wanted to do with this, whether it would have been
dropping
different.
The C word everywhere. Bombs, all that kind of stuff.
But no, it was fine. It was a good, fun family film. I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected.
Here's the basics. You get 3 wishes. They must begin with rubbing the lamp and saying, I wish. Got it?
Think so?
Watch this.
Mr. Aladdin, yes, 1 wish or 2 or 3.
I can't make anybody love anybody
Or bring anybody back from the dead.
Never had a friend like.
and the crowd goes wild.
Disney's Aladdin.
So, how does it work?
The whole song was the instructions.
Aladdin is out in cinemas now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe below for more of Digital Spy's video reviews. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.